Dit hadden ven enjoy.
Okay, so now it's John Jandai who will speak to us. And at 2, we will stop until 4, and we'll come back from 4 to 6. It's an honor to have John Jandai once again on stage. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. So today I'm gonna have some slideshow of my place behind the screen while I'm talking, so you can imagine how it looked like. But this slideshow is quite old, many years ago. And then there's one picture, it's not from my farm. It's like a picture of adobe house in Taos, Pueblo. That's the first adobe house that I have seen in my life. So today I'm going to talk about education. I don't have a lot of experience about education, but I will share my experience. I did not interested about education before, until one day my wife told me that she's pregnant. So that's the first time I need to think about education. Before that, I don't want to involve about education. I don't want to be with kids much. I feel like that. But when my wife told me that she's pregnant, I started to look at people nearby me. I see many kids, very different. Some kid is very naughty, some kids very bully. And then I start to observe them. Many kids have problems. When you look at their parents, you can start to see that their parents have problems. If the kids has no problem, their parents has no problem. So the kid is like a mirror. That makes me think about how can I educate my kid? What do I want my kid to be? So mainly the kid that has problem, parents always have non-stable, their emotion is not stable. It's like they use a lot of emotional thing together. So the kids always have problem. So I start to observe that kids never have problem. Only parents have problem. But we always blame kids. The kids not good. The kids has problem. So I talk with my wife. How can we do this? So we think about to plan to not use like a strong emotion together. We start from when she was pregnant. We will not do anything that have argument, non-violence in our family. We start that. So it's very good for me because that's the way I learn how to not use strong emotion, learn how to try to use reason, try to use consciousness more than use emotion. Whatever I don't like it, I just look at my wife womb, look at that womb, and then it remind me, and why do I have to angry with this thing? So it helped me to come back to myself more, to question more, why do I have to angry with this problem? When I investigate deeply, and then I see that, because I don't understand it. When I understand it, I cannot angry at it. Or sometimes I see, because she doesn't understand it. She did not understand it. So I have no reason to angry at her. So after we know that we have my wife pregnant, it's very good practice for us to not angry. So our family is very nice after that. So I think my son is like my teacher after that. And then when my wife labor, we start to think about how can we educate our son. Because in Thailand, it's quite expensive to send kids to school. And then I start to see that education system in my country is very destructive system. I feel like an education system ruin many people's life and ruin the country. Because I saw many families who are poor, but they try to work very hard and use all their money to send their kid to school to get education. For many years, they spend money on education. They work hard for many years. But after the kid finish university, the kid cannot do anything. So we spend a lot of money to train our kids to be handicapped person. So it's very wasteful time and money. So if they have no kid, they can use their money to develop themselves. They can have a good life, have a better life. So I think education kills a lot of people, minds or future. So I think I don't want to send my kid to the school. How can I design the education for my kid so he can be normal people who can help himself more, and then he will not be a burden for anybody? Because in Thai culture, we have culture that parents need to take care of the kid, everything. Even they grew up married, parents have to take care of their baby. So it's a big burden until they die. So how can we don't want to be like that. How can we avoid it? So we think about, we want to design a new way of education. And then we notice that the kids that have problem are the kids that grew up in the family with no love, no freedom. Because some parents, they think they love their kid. They try to give the best thing for their kid, but it's overprotective. That, like you put poison on your kid, the kid cannot do anything. So, when we think about education, we think about when I was kid, I have a lot of freedom. I can go anywhere when I was kid. And then I learned a lot. Even it's not what the people teach in the school. But everything I learned when I was kid, I use in my life. But everything I learned in the school, I never use it. So that make our family to design education, new education that we think about is we teaching without teaching. That's the idea. Because we give only the technique how to looking for knowledge, but we don't teach the knowledge to the kid. So what we teach is language, how to read, how to write, and then math a little bit. After they know how to read, how to write, that means they have tools to looking for what they want. So after that, we just let them free. My role, our role as a teacher, we don't need to teach. Teacher don't need to teach. We just be a good supporter. Just help them whatever they need. Don't try to intervene their learning process. In Thailand, we have a lot of problems. In most of family, parents have some dreams, but they cannot make their dream come true. And then they push their dream into their kids. They want their kids to do what they want to do. That's the big problem in the country, in my country. It causes suffering for both sides. So the kids don't like to be doctor, but parents want to be doctor. So they force their kid to learn to be a doctor. The kids spend more than 20 years to learn to be a doctor. After finish the doctor, he don't want to be a doctor, so he become a musician. So he wastes his time, more than 20 years, and parents upset and die. So nobody get benefit from that thing, but nobody learn from this lesson. So we talk together. We will not intervene our son dreams. He can dream. He can do whatever he wants to do. So we don't teach him. We let him looking for what he wants to know. 4 years old, he said, Dad, I want to sail boat around the world. I talked with my friend already. I will be a captain. I will be the pirate, he said. His friend gonna be captain. I said, it's good idea. It's incredible idea. It's very fun if you travel around the world with sailboat. But what do you need to know if you want to sail around the boat? He went away for a long time and he come back. Dad, I need compass. I need watch. I need map. So I just got this thing for him. Not really long. Less than half a day, he went away somewhere and he come back and said, I know how to use compass now. And then not very long, he know how to read the time on the watch, on the clock. And then not very long, he know how to read the map. He know what is contour line. He know the height. That make me feel like, education is so easy. You don't need to do anything. When people love something, they learn it very fast. I just think about myself. When I was a novice, I ordained as a novice. But we were forced to study Sanskrit. Nobody speaks Sanskrit in the world right now, right? But in Buddhist country, we need to learn Sanskrit. I spent 2 years practice writing and reading Sanskrit. And then I can read, I can write. But after 2 years, 3 years later, I did not use it. I forgot all of it. So I waste a lot of my time to do something that I will never use it. That makes me think about my son a lot. So I feel like whenever he loves something, he will learn very fast. And then the kid, their brain is very open to everything. They're ready to learn everything, but not in the same time. So that's the mistake of curriculum in the education system. We make the curriculum for them. We want them to learn 8 subjects, 10 subjects. That's the big mistake. Because they don't like it. We force them to learn. They're unhappy. We force kids to be suffer. From 3 years old, we force them to learn. Kids need to be fun and happy. They don't need to be stressed. They don't need to be too busy. Busy is adult. People who don't know what to do with their life, they just make their life busy. But the kids, they want to spend their life to learn. So the curriculum that we have now is the big problem for education system. So we let our kid learn whatever he want to. Our job is just to support him. We never teach him much. We did not teach him much. But we can see the progress. He's so different from kids in the school. 4 years old, he go to the water. I told him to swim, how to swim, explain to him, and then throw him in the water. Not very long, he just tried to struggle. Not very long, he can swim. He want to ride bicycle. I think 6 years old, he want to bike because another friend's bike. I put him on the bike and I pushed the bike downhill, not very steep hill. Many people just hold the bike for him, for the kid, and then they can learn how to pedal. But when you push it, it just go, and then he learn. So when he have confidence, when he can learn how to make decision by himself, he learn how to solve the problem very fast. So he learned to bike without practicing at all. Just one time, one day, and he go. So that's one thing I feel like it's very incredible the way the kids learn. If we don't intervene much with the process, they learn fast. And then one thing is, I bought toys for my son only 4 times in my life. Before 4 years, I bought some toy for him. But after 4 years, I stopped buying toy. I took him to the city one day, and he saw the toy shop. There's a lot of big truck, a lot of toy. He said, "Dad, I want a big truck. It's so beautiful." I told him that the truck made from China is very cheap, very cheap plastic. After you use it, not very long, it will break. So it will become a garbage after that. And then he said, "Okay, Dad, I just want a small one." So I bought a small one for him. That's the last time I bought toy for him. I feel like when we explain things to him with reason, he understands reason. We never use strong emotion with our son. So he never used emotion. He used reason. He used more consciousness to think. He think more. He used reason more to try to understand, why do I need that? Why do I need that? So that's one thing that is against my belief before. Before that, we think kid doesn't know anything, we can lie to the kid. But actually the kid very clever. Clever than human. Clever than adult. Because I noticed that if we lie to the kids start to lie to us too. They study, they understand our psychologists very quick. They know what they want, and they know how to get what they want. If they cry and they get what they want, next time they will cry. If parents cannot get along very well, they know who to go to talk with to get what they want easily. So they're clever. So I did not buy toy for my kid at all after that, because after 4 years, one day he came, "Dad, I want to get a Lego. It costs quite a lot of money." So I told him, "Oh, our family, we did not work to make money. We never have income. So that's quite expensive. But if you want it, it's okay. How can we make money if we want to have it? You can go and think, how can we make money?" So he walked away and he went to sit in a coffee shop. And then not very long, he asked them, "Can you teach me how to make cookie?" So they teach him how to make cookie. So making cookie is education for him, for us too, because he needs to study which country make cookie first. Where is the wheat they grow? Where is sugar we get? How they make butter? How baking soda working with flours, wheat flour? So he need to investigate by himself. So when he make cookie, he need to measure everything. He learn how to measure things. And then after he make cookie, he need to think about how much each cookie cost and how much he can sell, how much he can make profit so he can buy Lego. So the whole process is, there's every subject in there. So he learned very quick, not very long. After he make cookie, he just sell cookie in the farm. People come, he sell cookie. And not very long, he get money to buy Lego. So that's the first lesson for him. And after that, he start to learn to do more things. Everything he learned always create income for himself. So we not intervene with his income. He manage his own money. But he don't want to keep money. He keep it with me. So he can write it down how much he keep with me. So next time, if he want cell phone, how much do you want? How much is the cost of cell phone? You need to research for that thing. Which variety, which kind do you want, which company? He did research and then he came to me. Dad, I want this cell phone. It costs this much euro. So, oh, you have enough money, you can buy it. So that's what happened. So far, now he's 14 years. He never asked money from parents. So this technique, I feel very relaxed that my son can help himself. Even he did not go to school at all. Even I die today, I don't feel worried about him. He can help himself. He know how to cook. He know how to do many things. He know how to make income for himself. So that's very good experience for me that we experiment this thing. And then sometimes people always ask us, you do homeschooling, you think it's good for your kid? Your kid's gonna have enough social life? Your kid gonna catch up with another kid in the same age? Because you are not teacher. I did not finish university. We are not teacher. But I think who are not teacher is the best teacher. Because teacher is the person who did not do much in their life. They're just reading. But who are not teacher, who do so many things. Like a farmer is the best teacher. Because they have so much knowledge in their life. They know the soil, they know the water, they know the plant, they know everything. They know how to cook, they know how to make tools. But teacher have only information, but no experience, no skill. So, I don't feel worried about what they said to me, that you don't have experience about teaching, how can you teach your kid? And then they worry about social life. But homeschool kids in my town, in my city, we have about 100 families who do homeschool. We get the kids together often. I observe all of them. None of them have problem with social life. But the kids who go to the school always have social life problem. Because they have very narrow world. They live in a small room in the classroom. 30 people stay together. They know only 30 kids in the room. And come back home, they see only parents. And they don't like their parents much. They just go to the room and close the door. And then they spend a lot of time with computer. When they go to school, they just spend a lot of time with cell phone. They don't talk together much. So when they see people, it's very hard for them to communicate with people. So I feel like the kids that go to school have so much problem. They have a few friends, and then they have a lot of pressure, a lot of tension in their life. I noticed that. Why the kids have to become drug addicts so much? Because of the school. The school make them have to be like that. Why they have to be like a gangs, have caused a lot of problem? Because of their life has no freedom and no love. They were oppressed all the time from the house, from the school. They don't like to learn this subject, but they need to learn. They want to play, but they don't have time to play. A lot of pressure. So what they can do is revolt. Do whatever, just to make parents or other people feel upset or unhappy. So that's why they take drugs. They're addicted to game. But homeschool kid, nobody addicted to game. They play game. They're not addicted to it. They have fun. Because there are so many fun things in the world. Why we need to play game? It's so boring. Game is fun for people who have a hard life, a bad life. So, homeschool kid, we have no problem with social life because we have a lot of time. Today, they maybe go to the ocean to dive in the ocean to see what's under the sea. It's more fun than game. Someday they go to the mountain hiking. Someday they go to see the star. What the name of the star? They see so many things. Grafting, planting, feeding animal. There's so many fun things to do outside of school. That's why I feel like a school, we need to have less classroom as much as we can. Need to go out more. And then the main idea of learning is the most important of education is freedom and love. Whenever you have freedom, you learn a lot. Whenever you love, you feel like somebody loves you. You don't need to worry about anything. You learn a lot. So we try this, experiment this for 14 years. Until now, I feel so happy that we tried this thing. We're so lucky that we did not send our kid to the school. Now, my son wants to experiment to be in the school. So we took him to Colorado. He went to talk with the teacher. Normally, he's in grade 8 now. But after he talked with the teacher said, he has to be in grade 9. He should not be in grade 8 because he's too far from other kids. So every subject he worked well. Even he never sit and read and write he never learned like a normal kid. He learned from practical experience. So that makes me feel like education system right now is about memorizing. When you remember things, it's not last very long. Remembering or memorizing make people have more fear because you never understand it. Nobody understands anything from reading and listening. You can remember only, you never understand it. Understanding comes from experiencing, facing. For example, if I have a water in my glass, I said this glass of water is very sweet. Everybody thinks this water is sweet. They remember that. But everybody don't think the same way. What kind of sweet it is? Some people maybe think sweet like a sugar, sweet like a honey, sweet like a molasses, sweet like a mango. Different people think different way. So reading and listening is become philosophy. It's thinking. Everybody think differently. But whenever I give this water to everybody to drink, oh, it's sweet like this. Everybody feel the same thing, sweet like this, not like sugar, not like honey. So this is understanding. Wherever you go, you see this kind of water, you know immediately it's sweet like this. But when you're listening to me without tasting it, wherever you go, you still doubt in your mind. Is it like sugar? Is it like honey? So this is very important thing for us to think about education for our kid. We want him to understand. We don't want him to remember a lot of information because we have a lot of computer in the world right now. Why do we need to remember a lot of information? We need more space in our brain to think, to imagination, to have more imagination. But if our brain full of information, no space to think. So that's the idea of education that I believe in right now. And then I feel like to do education for my son is the best gift in my life. My son is like my teacher because he taught me a lot. He made me open my mind. He made me listen to people more. He made me listen to him. I can bow to my son as a great teacher in my life. He made me understand myself more and more and more. So my son is my great teacher. Thank you. Yeah.